Hello, my name is Alicia. I have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and on this channel I would like to share with you what I have learned in the dialectical behavior therapy program and from my other experiences with this disorder. Today I would like to talk to you about radical acceptance. Different components of DBT have a different effect on people. When I was doing the program, we would get a lot of homework. And it was sometimes very practical and very down to earth. Sometimes it was a bit tedious, oftentimes painful and satisfying and eye-opening. But one thing it never was is boring, or easy for that matter. The radical acceptance exercises have definitely been the most emotionally taxing for me because I struggled with it, and in some ways I still do. But radical acceptance is not only the cornerstone of DBT. I think it's the cornerstone of every human's spiritual development. Radical acceptance, along with choosing the new path and willingness, they are about growing up. They are about reaching a certain developmental stage without which we cannot fully become ourselves. We cannot truly connect to other people and our own life. If some stress tolerance skills are very physical, this particular group of skills is spiritual. Let me read you a long excerpt from my DBT book, poorly translated by me from German into English because I don't own the English version. There are 3 skills that will help you on the path to accepting reality and the responsibility for your new life. These skills tend to have long-term, cross-situational, and preventative effects. Life is what it is, and we should learn to accept that. Crying over the fact that things are not as we think they should be isn't really helpful. Using these skills, you won't see an immediate visible effect. They take time and practice. So the first skill is called choosing a new path. Every time we want to change, the decision on taking a new path is a prerequisite for success. So if you want to stop harmful behaviors, you need to make a decision to follow a new path and use your skills for that. You will encounter both victories and defeats along this new path. What matters is, it is different from the old path you used to walk. Without the conscious decision of taking the new path, you leave a door open through which, when things get tough, you may stumble back onto the old path. This decision is one you make not just once, but many times, perhaps every day or every hour. This decision is crucial for your success both in therapy and in life. The second skill is called willingness. Willingness means being open in any situation, being ready to do what needs to be done instead of being willful. It means being mindful of yourself, being in a state of acceptance towards life. You are open, aware, and awake. You accept things as they are. You are aware of your situation and your goals. You listen to your inner voice and stay true to it. That means going to the doctors when you feel you're getting sick, or making the hard decision of saying no to a friend's request because you know that doing what they ask would be harmful to you in the long run. The opposite of willingness is willfulness, and it is trying to do things that are not doable, trying to solve every problem even if the solution is not realistic. Thinking, this is not how it should have been, and being unable to accept the situation as it is. Remaining passive, although action is required. Giving up, accepting no change, even though change is necessary. Feeling the need to control everything, even though control is not always possible. It is concentrating on what you want to have, what you wish for, and how you think things should be. The third skill is called radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is needed when the situation cannot be changed, and how you feel about it cannot be changed either. It means accepting both the situation and our reaction to it as they are. The situation is what it is, because it cannot be any different, or it would have been a different situation altogether. I like this phrase. Radical acceptance is the attitude wise people adopt when facing circumstances they cannot change. This acceptance is also applied to their emotions, thoughts, and wishes. Here are some examples from the book. I have diabetes. I will have to depend on insulin my whole life. I am scared of complications such as heart attacks and blindness. It is what it is. I have experienced extreme violence in my childhood that will affect me my whole life. Memories of that time will always haunt me. It is what it is. My parents have always loved my sister more than me. She's prettier, more successful. She has 2 kids and a great partner. I hate that, and I have always been jealous of her. It is what it is. My child has leukemia, and I don't know whether she will survive. I am very scared and in a lot of pain. It is what it is. There is a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is a part of life and cannot be avoided. Sometimes we have to go through pain because the situation that is the source of it cannot be changed. If we try to escape or displace the pain, we often end up suffering even more. Suffering consists of pain and the non-acceptance of it. Suffering appears when people focus on what they want and cannot accept what they have. Suffering is much harder to endure than pain. Only with the help of radical acceptance can we convert suffering back into healthy pain. I think those examples are really good, so you now have a good understanding of what radical acceptance is and in which situation it can be applicable. So now let me show you the radical acceptance exercise that has been so emotionally challenging for me. I still do it a lot. I will be reading from the book again. Choose 3 important things in your life that you would like to radically accept. Rate your level of acceptance for them from 0 to 5, where 0 is no acceptance and 5 equals I have accepted it and found peace. It could be something in your life or something in yourself. Then create another list of 3 things, this time smaller ones, that you have had trouble accepting this week. Rate your acceptance of them from 0 to 5. Take another look at both lists and differentiate between facts, interpretations, and opinions. What you need to accept here are the facts. Find the hidden judgments. Rewrite the sentences so they only consist of facts and have no judgments in them. Let me insert my own example here. Here's a statement I find really hard to accept. I'm a loser. That basically is a judgment. So if I want to rewrite it as fact, I would have to say something like, I feel like I'm not good enough. The key word here is feel, because it's not a fact that I'm not good enough. It cannot possibly be a fact because it depends on many factors, like which situation are we talking about? What is it I am not good enough for? And then I would have to specify in what way I am not good enough for something or someone. Like, I couldn't say I am not good enough to be doing ballet. I could say I am not at the age where people usually begin to do ballet. I could say that I am not flexible enough to be doing the moves. I could say I haven't had any kind of training, so I will be unable to do many elements of ballet. But the phrase, I am not good enough to do ballet, it's just not true, is it? It cannot possibly be true because it is very emotional, but it's also very vague. It doesn't really mean anything. Whereas when I say, I feel like I'm not good enough, is a bit closer to the truth. It is a feeling that I have and that I find distressful. Even if I say, I can't dance, what that actually means is I have never had any training in dancing. And that sounds much less painful than saying the vague, I'm not good enough. So instead of saying I'm a loser, I could say I feel I haven't done all the things in life that I would like to have done. And that is the phrase that I would have to learn to accept, because I can't change that. It's in the past. I haven't done those things. I cannot go back and do them. And I also feel sad about that, and I cannot not feel sad about it. It's a legitimate reaction to the fact that I have missed some opportunities. So let's go back to the exercise. We have a list of 3 big things that you would like to accept in general, and a list of 3 things that you had difficulty accepting this week. Take another look at both lists and differentiate between facts, interpretations, and opinions. What you need to accept here are the facts. Find the hidden judgments. Rewrite the sentences so they only consist of facts and have no judgments in them. Choose one of the first 3 sentences and one of the second 3. You should try to do the following exercises daily. It will be hard in the beginning, but will get easier as you practice. Say your sentence out loud when you are alone. Try and have your voice sound open and accepting. Experiment with it until you get it right. Relax your face and your body. Record yourself saying the sentence on your phone and listen to it several times. Notice how your body feels when you hear it. Try to answer, "It is what it is," every time you hear the sentence. Do this exercise together with your therapist or a close friend. Tell your close friend in detail which aspects of it you would like to radically accept. This exercise, like most of the ones that I talk about on this channel, was created by Marsha Linehan, the amazing mastermind behind dialectical behavior therapy. She had borderline personality disorder herself, and her symptoms were very, very severe. And there was no treatment for BPD back when she was young. So she went and studied psychology. She lived in a Buddhist monastery. She became a philosopher as much as a psychotherapist. And you feel that when you read her books or when you do DBT. She cured herself and countless others since then. DBT is now used all over the world, and I have been so lucky to have access to it here in Germany. The effects of DBT, the changes, they don't happen all at once. I was really impressed when I left the hospital, and the people around me, they noticed that I had changed. But as time goes by and I keep using these tools, I notice things changing more and more, especially the quality of my life. Sometimes I look back at the suffering that I experienced only a year ago and I feel no connection to it whatsoever. I can't even really remember why I suffered, and the things that used to affect me so much don't seem to be affecting me at all now. So I want you guys to have hope. There was a time in my life when I would have given anything for just a glimpse of hope for myself. If you are in that dark place right now, I want you to know that we are not helpless, we are not weak, and we are definitely not hopeless, not at all. And this growing up I've talked here about, it doesn't take anything away from your life. On the contrary, it can give us strength to come back to ourselves, to rediscover that self that has been lost somewhere in adolescence, and discover the world in a new way, which is both childlike and mature, fresh and perceptive. So I really hope this helps. I'll talk to you, or rather at you, again soon. Bye!